Oracle. What should they call her? What should they call her? Oracle. What's going on, peoples? Everybody is having a great Monday. Let's give some cards a shuffle. Hi. Hey, everybody, coming on in. First off, let me light some therapy. Hey, gang. Let's light some incense. What's good now? I miss you guys. I have been ripping and running with my grandkids, and I have been having a great time. But they are at the amusement park right now. What's good, Project Execute? And I figured, like, let me get on and take care of this. So we're gonna do this a little different today. We're gonna talk about it. Today Pluto goes direct. Okay. Let me check one more thing. Pluto goes direct today. We need to have a conversation about that. I just heard I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy. Okay. And we are basically in the middle. They all look like me. Thank you. So we are in the middle of Saturn's retrograde. Okay. We're in the middle of Saturn's retrograde. Hey everybody, coming on in. We're in the middle of Saturn's retrograde, and today Pluto's retrograde ended. Okay. So we need to talk about that because we are in a very pivotal cycle with Pluto right now. Pluto usually takes about 20 years to complete a cycle or go through one planet. And it just went into Aquarius at the end of last year, around November 19th. And I was telling all my people, like, hey, your life will be forever changed after November 19th. And, you know, there were a lot of people online who didn't think that was a real statement, but that shit has been a real statement. Okay. And so on Friday, I had met with my soul tribe. And I told them there was going to be some water events. We went over the board and some of the things that Spirit had gave us at the beginning of the year. And I said, you know, we've had some things. Well, there was a typhoon over the weekend. What's good, Alicia and everybody coming in? Hey, gang. What's good? I also mentioned something about like South America or incidents of weather that were underneath us. And I kept saying, like, I don't know a lot about the geography down there. Sure enough, there was a water incident also in Mexico, caused some landslides. There's 41 people, 41 souls. Alaska's getting hit right now. Okay, so we got that going on. When speaking of Pluto rules Scorpio, death and transformation. Right? We got Uranus in Gemini. Pulling for what? for change, revolution. There's going to be a shift. And I think we kind of already feel this happening. Okay? So Spirit wants to do it different today. We're not going to be doing earth, fire, water like that. We're going to do cardinal, mutable, and fixed. Why? Because this Pluto in Aquarius, Mars in Scorpio. Chiron retrograde in Aries. Okay, so causing like this push-pull. Uranus is going to go back. So this is the beginning of what's going to feel like a grand cross. By the time, what day does, I think it's also November. So we're prepping, okay? Let's see. November 7th. Okay, so we're very close. Okay, so the cross, the fixed signs are going to feel this shit heaviest. But everybody got skin in the game. Cardinal signs got a lot of shit going on. You got the Aries, Cancer, Libra, right? And Capricorn. Well, in Aries, you got Mercury. I mean, you got Chiron retrograde. Okay, I think Neptune and Saturn went into retrograde in Aries, but I think Neptune is still in Aries, but not in Pisces. Like it didn't go into the past sign, right? You have that going on. You have Jupiter in Cancer, right? And we're in Libra season. So as you see, they got a lot of skin in the game. So we're going to be looking at it this way because in some ways we're really kicking it off here. And the Pluto in Aquarius will be in its full go come next summer when the North Node catches up to Pluto. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at what's going on. Hey there, Ethereal. Okay, we are going to get a general for everybody. And then we're going to start with, since we're starting with, since we're looking at Pluto, we're going to start with fixed signs because it is an Aquarius. Okay, so that's where we're going to kick it off at. Yeah, let's do the general energy first. Spirit, can you show me for all those listening both now and later, what is it that they need to know about this Pluto coming out of its retrograde? Now, Pluto comes out of retrograde every year, spends about half the year, about 5 months in retrograde, right? The difference is that Pluto has not been in Aquarius in our lifetime. So this is going to be a whole new flavor, okay? Thank you, my love. This is a whole new flavor. You got the fever for the flavor of the Pringles, right? It's a whole new flavor. And, you know, we just came into Pluto into Aquarius. So it hasn't even really matured itself. Okay, we've only seen glimpses of what that is. All right, so let's take a look. Spirit, can you show me, please? What is it that the collective needs to know about this Pluto going direct and really kicking off this age of Aquarius? Can you show me, please? We got 2. Okay. We got number 13, Iziel. I might have said that wrong. Okay. And it's Medicine of the Rainbow Jaguar. Okay. And then we also have here Haya Aka, Sorceress of Light, and it's in reverse. Okay. I feel like in up until Halloween, which will be a week before Saturn comes out of its retrograde. No, 3 weeks before Saturn comes out of its retrograde, but a week before Uranus goes retrograde in Taurus. What's good, Pata? Right? That this is gonna listen, you need to protect yourself from like negative entities, people maybe, you know, throwing energy right around that Halloween time. That's every year. I feel like this year people are already kind of like teetering. It ain't gonna take too much. Thank you for the share, my love. Okay, so let's get into what Spirit has to say to the everybody before we get into the whole you know, elements. And like I said, we're gonna do it different today. Okay, so Ixiel, Medicine of the Rainbow Jaguar. Ixiel protects you now as you transition from one life phase to the next. We was just talking about Pluto and being death and transformation, right? With her rainbow light, this guardian goddess instructs you on how to use great power with wisdom, medicine, with perfect timing. She confronts that which is unworthy of her devotion, eradicating destructive forces and creating space for healing, relief, and rebirth. Her presence is the power of the jaguar, the renewal promise of the rainbow, and the divine feminine creativity. All darkness shall be overcome. So I feel like the first message, thank you, my love, for the gifts. I feel like the first message that she's saying is that all will be well, and that this is part of the natural progression of what we have to deal with to get to that point. However, we have 40 here in reverse, okay? Hayaka. And we're about to see. Well, first off, let me make sure there wasn't a prayer for that because I'm like moving ahead too fast. The rainbow light brings me healing, blessing, and spiritual grace now, according to the unconditional divine love. The divine mother brings me all that I need with such generosity and wisdom. Jaguar medicine honors my soul and divine love now. So there's a recognition. You're driving. There's a recognition right now that is basically saying that our needs will be met on this journey. And the journey is going from one timeline to another. And I was reading for someone this morning, and basically the past timeline was presenting itself. The past timeline, a timeline that she wanted in the past, was presenting itself. Okay, but she has new goals and new things that she wants. And basically, what the cards were saying was that we're at a point where we get to choose. You want to go back? You could go back, or you could go forward. And there'll be variations of each of those paths. It's for you to determine. So know that right about now, maybe each and every one of us is finding some individual challenge or experience that is reflecting a new door and another door. The reason why Spirit does that is because when they're about to give you something major that you've been manifesting, it's like a double thing, right? One side is like they want to see if you really about that life. And if they give you something easier, something smaller, or something that you really wanted from the past, like let's say, and using a cigarettes as a thing, okay? Y'all know I used to smoke, right? So using the cigarettes as a thing, right? So you used to smoke cigarettes, and you're having yeah, we get to choose, right? And you get this new thing that you're like, I'm gonna be healthy, I'm gonna be going to the gym. Remarkably, you don't know that you want a contest. You don't know that you want a contest, and you're about to get a whole year of like free gym with a fucking trainer and everything. It would change your life, but you don't know that. Okay. And right before that, it's somebody's birthday. You got 3 months under your belt. You go out to the bar. You stand outside in front of the bar. Somebody that hasn't seen you in a minute, they go to pass you that cigarette. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can go back to the timeline. Listen, you're not going to get punished. You can go back. You can have your cigarette. Go ahead. But when you get that membership, the chances of you following through have now diminished because you chose a different timeline. You chose the timeline where you return to cigarettes and now be double hard. So I'm just using that as a smaller example, but you could use that with a man, a woman, a lover, right? Where you got out from under that bullshit, right? Maybe this person wasn't offering what you wanted, but it was a comfort zone. And then now, something is presenting itself or is about to present itself, and the universe says, hey, let's just check in before we go through all this shit. Does so-and-so really want what they said, or do they just want easy? Because we could send over Joe Schmo. And so Joe Schmo going to come over to your place and make up some reason. And that's the moment. Okay? That's the moment. All right. So this is what is occurring right now. Okay. Which way you want to go? Which way you want to go? Remember that in those moments, everybody's got their own mirror. Everybody's having their own experience. Everybody's making their own choices. We can get caught up. Listen, one of the things that's dying right now, I promise you, not only in you, but in others. What's good, everybody coming in? Ego death. Where is Pluto? Pluto's in Aquarius. What sign rules the ego? Leo. What is that doing? It's the opposite of, is it not? So you are confronting shit as you're releasing shit, people, places, and things. You're also confronting stuff. So when spirit brings back X, Y, and Z, right, that makes you feel good or fulfilled in whatever way that is, if that's the way you self-soothe, in whatever way that is, you're going to give life to one of these paths. The question is, what path do you want to strengthen, right? We're coming out of retrogrades, right? So what path are you trying to resurrect? Is it the path of your authenticity before many of these things that occurred to you to shift who you were, so that because you're trying to get back to your true center? Or is it something that you were trying to put behind you, but you find it easier? Either way, it's going down right now. Okay. Meet me in the hood. It's going down. All right. So we're going to start, as I said, with the fixed signs, because the fixed signs are, 100% see through those paths here and there. Correct. What's good, pretty brown dolly? Okay. So let's talk about that. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do fixed signs today. Okay. And we're going to start with Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Leo. Those are the fixed signs. They first. We're going to rock with them solely because Pluto came out of the retrograde in Aquarius. And so that's where we begin. But before I say that, Spirit, is there anything you want to say about the balance of this year and some of the things that we might see that would inform us of the shift, of the shift, of the shift? So I feel like we're going to hear about snow making it to a region that it normally doesn't make it to. I'm hearing Oklahoma, and I'm not saying that's the snow place. I'm saying something's going to pop off there. I feel like there's an attempt on a leader. It doesn't have to be here, but I feel like there is an attempt on a leader. What's good, Tammy? Hey, sis. Smile in your face, all around the world to take your place, the backstabbers. A lot of things that have been in the back are going to be revealed. And a lot of people are crossing each other over. When I say people, I mean places or governments. So Club of Nine is going to make some kind of unpopular decision. Maybe not with us, but however it works, I feel like the response to it causes backlash because you can't make everybody happy. And I feel like we could see some outside events, okay? Yeah. I'm going to leave that there. All right, Spirit, you ready? Okay. All right. Fixed signs. Pull up. Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. Spirit, show me, please. What is it that my fixed signs need to know about this Pluto going direct in the sign of Aquarius, about this ego death, about restriction against freedom, authoritarianism against humanitarianism. Can you show me ego versus selflessness? What are we experiencing? What can we expect to experience? And what do we need to know right now for our highest good, please? For the collective, please? Of the fixed signs. Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. Look what's at the bottom of the deck. You have the Emperor, okay? I usually take questions, but it's at the end, and it will only be from followers. Okay, Spirit, can you show me, please? Father of Knives comes out. Ace of Sticks. Something about time and Saturn. We'll get into that. Spirit, can you show me? Something happens between now and November 20-something. Mother of Coins. Let's see. Ace of Coins, last shuffle. Eight of Coins at the bottom of the deck. The Six of Baskets and the Two of Knives. There's something trying to get back to reality or normalcy or something, and there's a work at it, but there's something that's going to be unexpected underneath of that. Seven of Coins is a cracking of something that isn't enough. Okay, 3 of Swords, and then the 7 of Swords, and then the 7 of Sticks. So let me just say that there's a crunch happening to people because of a certain shutdown, and we could start really seeing signs of that in the next week and a half to 2 weeks. And while that is occurring, this could be a broader problem for everybody. But I feel like fixed signs expect to feel that. Okay, this may be affecting your job or people's jobs overall. Okay, people's jobs overall, where people are having to, or companies are having to make setbacks or things like that. I'll be taking personal questions, but at the end, okay, and from followers. Father of Knives with the 7 of Swords. Publicly, people are seeing deception by people with power or that they're not invested. Now, for my fixed signs, there could be somebody that has been wasting your time in some way. With the High Priestess and Queen of Wands, they could just want access to you. I want you to see that, what's good, man, in that basket, there's a lot of fucking clocks. This person is, okay, now let me just say that there's a particular King of Swords in office and his time might be running out, right? But you got the 7 of Swords here. Somebody's being seen for the deceptive person. And the Queen of Wands, okay, there could be, you could be seen as very magnetic, powerful fixed signs. And your intuition could be very, very heightened right now. I feel like you're going to see what needs to be seen. You're going to see people's deception, their true motives. Okay, it may not be fucking comfortable, but it is time. Okay, I'm seeing this Wheel of Fortune as another fucking clock. Okay, and the 3 of Cups, there's going to be an event, and I said there was probably an event, as above so below, that's probably going to happen between November, by November 7th, maybe the end of November. So with that said, with the as above, so below energy, I feel like we may be experiencing that too, or the repercussions of said things. We feel it's a ripple effect, okay? And then you have the 3 of Wands. Now, whatever this ripple effect is, it's a breakdown for a setup, for the new timeline, okay? And remember, when if you're just coming in, you can always head over to the 2B and see the beginning. But basically, what it's talking about here is that we're getting to choose between the old and the new and what you're going to do. You can go back and sit at tables, or you can, build some new tables or some new experiences, okay? So you got the Ace of Sticks here, okay? Okay, 8 of Swords and the 5 of Wands, okay? So the Ace of Sticks, I feel like, is desire. This could be driven by the ego in many senses. Thank you guys for all the love. I greatly appreciate you. This could be being driven by the ego. Why do I say that? Because if you are, let's say you're in a situation where you're choosing your timeline. Something from the past is, showing itself. And new opportunities, right? I feel like there's low-hanging fruit. This feels like the void. Low-hanging fruit, you can make yourself comfortable, with that low-hanging fruit, that cigarette, that whatever, the examples that we used, right? But it's very primal. It's very like using this as the phallic symbol, right? This would be, once it's expressed, or once it is obtained, right? You can have different feelings about this with this Eight of Swords, get you in your head like, oh, why did I undo my progress? Or Five of Wands, or it's bringing back conflict, or this is how I sabotage myself, okay, from what I really want with the Nine of Cups. Now, this also can be somebody else having a cognitive dissonance to the new timeline that you're picking. Sure could be. Sure could be, because some people don't want you to get up and get to a new table, right? Nine of Cups. Somebody also could be dealing poorly with self-soothing. Too many cups there for my liking, but you got the Nine of Cups here too, right? So that's two, right? Straight card with the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like somebody has something here, okay, where they feel like they would be soothed. It would be soothing to just come back to the lighthouse, the Empress, whatever, male or female, right? It would be soothing. But it would be undoing for you because you have the Strength card and the Seven of Pentacles. It's like maybe at one time that fulfilled you, but now it doesn't. So if you know, it's like, nah, I'm gonna pass. I'm full. I'm full. I ate already. Ace of Cups, right? I'm looking for something bigger. I'm looking for love. Looking for love in all the wrong places. You got the King of Swords here. This is the same King of Swords over here, okay? With the Seven of Swords, okay? So they're looking for love too. Okay, with the Nine of Swords, they could be having anxiety to this anxiety, right? This new timeline could be fucking them up, right? And Queen of Pentacles, okay? You've learned about self-love here. You've learned who you are, or really feeling comfortable in your skin. And the Four of Pentacles, you know, can you hold back or refrain from something being offered to you that feels easy? Because you know that it's not fulfilling you in the old ways. Okay? Five of Swords, or because you recognize that there's some kind of test or manipulation that somebody else needs to do the egoic thing to feel soothed. So you see the new beginning is there. It's like you're waiting, right? You could go through the old door, you could go through the new door. Okay, it would be easy if you don't see the new door opening, and then you're like, well, fuck it, I know this door, I'm gonna walk through that door. You're not gonna see the other door. Okay, and understand that that person is also going through that. Okay, they also like, well, nothing else is coming, so let me open the door. Let me see if this person will open the door to me and I can feel better. It doesn't mean the situation has changed. Okay, you got the Ace of Coins here at the bottom of the deck. Spirit, why is this for my fixed signs? Well, you have the Three of Cups. This is the test, the event, the main event, with the Two of Pentacles and the choice before you and the Star. One of these roads is not like the other. But whichever one you choose, you block the other. Page of Swords. So this is why discernment is so important. Nine of Pentacles. Listen, that old table is asking you, do you want that old thing back? Okay, Eight of Coins at the bottom of the deck, Spirit. Why is that? Okay, with the Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. So listen, there is an offer here. But it's from the emotional lunatic. It's from, you know, you're going to fight for it. You're going to be in a circle. There's going to be, it's not 100% in alignment, but it is comfortable. Okay, Judgment. Okay, this is Scorpio's card, ruled by who? Pluto, death and transformation. Do you see what's happening here? Do you see it? Fixed signs? The World. One of these roads is not like the other, and you got to pick a door, and you don't get to go back. Okay, what's good, Mystic Moonchild? You don't get to go back. Okay, you're showing up as the alchemist, And there goes that King of Swords. Okay. So Spirit is reminding you, choose wisely. Okay. If you want to go through the old door, you can. Okay. But the other door is not going to be there. Okay. Once you pick it, it's yours. Okay. That's what I'm getting for my fixed signs. So if Aquarius, if we start with Aquarius, we're going to go mutable. Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius. Pull up. Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius. Mutable signs. You're welcome, my love. Pull up. Hey, everybody, coming on in. Come on in. Come on in. Spirit. So you got the Hermit at the bottom of the deck, which is Virgo. Thank you, Pata. Spirit, can you show me, please, what does my mutable signs, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius need to know about this Pluto direct and all the things that pertain to the decisions and the timeline before them? There's big change happening, okay? You've got the big house, which is the Tower, and the Six of Swords. So it's a Six of Wands. It's a breakthrough, probably a surprising one. Spirit, can you find me? And you know exactly what this is. It's a Seven of Cups in reverse. Ain't no fucking illusions. And it's also, ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. I feel like this is brought to you by the energy of Uranus and Gemini. I feel like there's a delay. So you're going to see something, say something. You're going to see like an early indication of something. I feel like it is growing while Uranus goes retrograde in Taurus. So there could be some behind the scenes, or that could be a period of acclimation where things feel a little difficult for you because it'll move into your 12th house, things that you weren't prepared for. This could be the Tower energy. But I also feel like once it goes back into your sign, everything feels different. Spirit, can you show me? And it may not be very comfortable, but it's this the setup for the new, okay? And Uranus just went into your sign this year, okay? So, you know, that's like a 7 or 8 year transit as well. So there's a lot of change ahead for the mutable signs, okay? And Spirit doesn't want you to apologize for this shit. Okay, so we're going to get into it. Okay, so you got the Tower, the Six of Wands, the Seven of Cups in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Page of Cups in reverse. Okay, there's no apologizing for where the fuck you're headed to. Okay, that's not part of the game plan right now. Spirit, can you show me what is it that my mutable signs need to know? Why is the big house, the Tower here for my mutable signs, please? Why is the Tower here for the mutable signs? Why is the Tower here for the mutable signs, please? So it comes out with the Fool. Okay, there's a renewal, a shocking renewal, an ending, a beginning, or something just busts open for you, okay? And there's a Tower. Listen, something definitely. What's good, Go Live Vegas? If you guys are having any problems with your page, follow Go Live Vegas as well, okay? Join Go Live Vegas is agency. TikTok agency is the agency that I am with, and I am very proud to be with that agency. There's a lot of heavy hitters over there. Okay, so definitely reach out to Go Live Vegas. Go Live Vegas, can you put it in the chat? The I think it's go.vegas or something like that. I'm really bad at remembering the web address. If you can put it for them, please. Okay. But there's definitely big change for the mutable signs. It could come at a very shocking frequency, and it's a win, baby. And all eyes is on you as well. With the Three of Pentacles, listen, a situation could totally change. This could be like, you know, you're doing something with your partner, and out of nowhere, they're like, let's get married. Or you meet somebody, you're doing something on your own, and you meet somebody, it's out of the blue. Something is happening out of the blue, okay? Or you could be going for a business meeting and for one company, and you leave out of there and you got a whole new job with another company that you weren't even looking for. Okay, so you've got something, there's a big upgrade coming for the mutable signs. Okay, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, something big is coming for you guys. This could be, let's say if you're you know, 63, 64, right? And all of a sudden you're like, you know what? The business is shutting down. Fuck it. I'm just gonna retire. Something big. Okay, 7 of Cups in reverse. No illusions about it. The shit is crystal clear. Once it happens, you're gonna know exactly what to do. There's another card that turned over. Let's see. It could be a little disorienting at first. Okay, Page of Pentacles, okay, crossed. You might think to yourself, like, should I do that? Okay, 6 of Pentacles. You recognize, again, with the options and the choices, that there's 2 ways, okay? I feel like one way doesn't give to you as much. I'm heard, welcome to the good life, right? So basically, it feels like you could, let's say, using the job thing, right? You come in one Monday, excuse me. They say, hey, you know, we're shutting it down. And you're like, damn, I only had like 2 years or 3 years left to retire. I thought I was going to stay here to the end. Maybe I just get like this little easy job over here. And then you're like, give it some thought. And you're like, I could do this shit. And okay, but do I want to do it? Do I fucking want to do it? Right, feel it in your soul. And then one minute you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna go down to the doctor and be like, you know what? Fill this fucking paper. I'm ready to sit my motherfucking ass down. And 6 of Pentacles. I could do a little side. You know, they let me work a little 16 hours if I wanted to, and you know, packing some groceries or some shit. But I have time for my family or something. Right, 4 of Cups. Okay. So you're weighing something like, is that what I don't really want to start all over in a new place? There's something here. King of Wands. Okay. I feel like for the mutables, there's some kind of void thing that's happening. I think it's to the end of November where you're coming to a decision about where your heart is really leading you to. Okay, when Uranus was in Taurus, in that time, and early on in that transit, or 2 or 3 years into that transit, I just knew I had to leave to another state. So, you know, mutables, I feel like Uranus is changing something about your path forward. And I feel like in this void, you're starting to get the inkling of where you're supposed to go, which way you're supposed to go. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? What's good, Brianna? Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, that there is something afoot that is being changed. Something that you were thinking about before is not, it's no longer what you desire in that way. Okay. Chills. Felt the change coming in the air. Yep. Okay, so let's look at this Knight of Coins in reverse. Something that may have took too long, or something that you thought would be later, using the whole retirement thing, right? Like, oh, I'll do that later. I don't have to worry about that later. Knight of Coins, right? Boom. Well, later is now, and here's the Knight of Wands in reverse. I do not feel like you want to be careless about this decision. Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo. Well, Virgo the least, but you guys are kind of known for, taking chances. And I feel like this time you're like, no, I've done too much, or I've come too far. So I have to make, this is for all the marbles, or once I change this road. And I like this because it tells me, mutable signs, that something is happening where you feel like whatever decision you make, there's permanency attached to it. You can't just switch lanes like you normally do with some other inconsequential shit. You feel that this is more for the marbles. This is a bigger decision or more long-term. Okay, so I feel like you are paying attention that, hey, maybe that was what I was working towards before, but it no longer is in alignment. And I don't want to just haphazardly change my mind into something. I need to give this some thought. Okay, Page of Cups is here in reverse. I also feel like you like fuck an apology, or fuck your apology, or I'm not apologizing for me deciding to move a different direction. We're about to see what this is about, but this is definitely standing on business. Spirit, what is this Page of Cups in reverse? What is this about? Okay, with the Five of Pentacles out in reverse. Okay, there's an acknowledgement here. I feel like you was on the precipice of obtaining something that maybe you feel is no longer 100% in alignment. I'll give you an example. You got a new job a year ago. You've been saving up money to buy a house in that area. But then as you're there, you start recognizing the politics of this job. Remember, I said you could be in a meeting, or, you get information about a different opportunity being offered to you. And then all of a sudden you wake up one morning and you're like, you know what? I'm going to keep saving the money because I'm going to buy a house still. But it ain't going to be by this job, because I recognize I don't even want that fucking job anymore. I actually want to go in a different direction. And so before I go buy a house, buy a job that I don't really like, I am going to think about what's the new direction. Okay? Because it's not that I can't accomplish it. Five of Pentacles is here crossed. Okay? I'm not being left out in the cold. Rather, I just don't feel like that is the sweet spot for me, or I don't feel like it'll be nurturing for me. It's like there's something realization about something not being really in fucking alignment, or what the fuck you want. I really feel. Okay, like you're understanding the sun, right? It doesn't bring me warmth to do that. Okay. Also, you may realize that you wanted something out of ego. So if you've ever taken any of my manifestation courses, one of the questions that I ask people, my clients, those that are going to work with me, is one of the questions I have them ask themselves is, why do you want that anyway? Right? So when you're manifesting something, you should ask yourself why you want that. Okay? Because let's say your neighbor got a new car and the car's crispy. And then you see them with the new car and you're like, you know what? I want a new car. Do you want a new car because your car is like beat up, or do you want a new car because you just want a new car? That's all fine. But if you want a new car just because the neighbor got a new car, and now you feel inadequate because you don't have a new car, they have a new car, and now you're like, I hope I could get this new car so that I could take that smug look off their face. Well, guess who's paying for the car payment for the new car? So the universe is going to tell you yes. Yes, you can have that new car. You also got to work for it, right? Are you doing it for the right reasons? Because the responsibility spiritually, mentally, physically is still going to be in your plate. You see how that works, right? So a lot of times when we manifest, I don't care if it's a person, place, or thing, you should ask yourself why you want that. Why do I want that? Is it representative of my ego, or does it feed my soul? Does it warm me truly? Okay. Am I being blocked from something that isn't healthy for me, or am I blocking love because I keep choosing things out of ego? There's a pause here, mutables, for assessment. And I feel like part of what you maybe were manifesting before or working towards before, something has shifted. And it's going to shift, I think, in a big way. If you haven't seen what I'm talking about, something, you got 2 tower cards. Okay, there's going to be some shocking event that makes it fucking clear. Okay, makes it clear that that's, you know, what it is that you do or do not want and what direction. It may not tell you exactly how you need to move forward, but it's going to definitely tell you how you don't want to move forward. Okay, and I think from there you're going to get to decide what it is that you really want to do. Okay, that's what I have for my immutables. Okay, cardinal signs. Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Pull up. Pull up, guys. You're welcome. Spirit, can you show me what it is that my cardinal signs need to know? Cancer, Libra, Aries, and Capricorn. Spirit, can you show me what is it that they need to know right now? What is it that they need to know? You have out here the 10 of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the 2 of Wands. Spirit, what else? I just heard opposites attract. Spirit. 10 of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to let you know right now, there's 3 queens out here. You got the Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, you got the Knight of Pentacles. It's been a long time coming. Something's been a long time coming. But I know change gonna come. Nine of Pentacles, that's a long time coming. Hangman, you could be feeling stuck right now, but the 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment's about to hit, and the Justice card is under there. Okay, so you're about to get some kind of fairness. Now, it's whether or not you recognize it. Okay, Spirit, can you show me, please? What is this about for my cardinal signs, please? For the cardinal signs. What is this about, please? For the cardinal signs? What is this about? 10 of Wands, please. With the Daughter of Knives. Moon at the bottom of the deck. There's a conflict. Cardinal signs. And it has something to do with healing and the Page of Cups. I feel like there's a mirror happening. Okay, whatever relationship or situation that this is in, there's something here, and I feel like the 2 sides of this are not seeing eye to eye or something. You got the Queen of Pentacles. This has to do with self-worth and the Ace of Coins and some kind of money. Now, this could be work. Let's say your job making an offer to you, like, hey, we'd like you to work over here in this department. However, same pay, more responsibility, or somewhat more pay, but maybe you don't feel it's equivalent. Okay? I feel like also on your side, you could be like, yeah, so you're giving me, 40 cents more an hour, but that job requires a lot more work. Okay. Or it's something that, you have to weigh if it's fulfilling. Yep. I'm doing more and pay not changing. You see? So there's something there about whether you decide whether this is equitable or if that's as of last week. So still recent, right? So you see that this is like having to fight for something. Knight of Swords and the Ten of Wands. Something is, you could be feeling right now like it's an uphill battle right now. Okay, with the Queen of Wands. Okay, and listen, before I even move on to the Queen of Wands, there's something you don't know about the situation because the moon is at the bottom of the deck, right? Four of Swords. Okay, welcome to the good life, right? We're back to, I'm hearing that again. So there's something there that could be saying like, if you knew this information, you might make a different decision, or maybe deep down in your heart, like using that job example, maybe deep down in your heart, you're like, yeah, I could do this for like maybe 3 months or some shit. But in reality, in my heart, I don't want to do this shit no more. Like, I know I don't want to do this shit no more. Like, maybe what you're feeling is starting to bubble up. We'll look at it. But here's the Queen of Wands. Let's find out what this is about. Spirit, why is this Queen of Wands here for my cardinal signs? Too many, Spirit. Why is the Queen of Wands here for my cardinal signs? You got the Daughter of Baskets. Let me get one more. And the Nine of Cups. Okay, so the Queen of Wands, I feel like your magnetic things are being offered to you. Okay, but they may not be, they could be too small. Knight of Cups. Okay, or somebody feels you're inexperienced or underprepared or something like that, and they feel like they could give less in some way. Okay, and the Nine of Cups. Okay, maybe they think that you're not explain. So I remember once, I'm gonna give you an example of something that happened to me, and then you can put it how it goes. A lot of you know that I have a special needs child. I spent a lot of time at home with him, and I raised my other two at home. So when it came time to go back into the workforce, I had all these licenses from like, CPS and all these things as to, I was a special needs home for medically fragile children. Okay. So, I know a lot about, that kind of care. So when I tell you it was super easy for me to be like, you know what, I could just work in a pre-K or a daycare. And that's like actually a step down from what I was doing before, but easy money, whatever. Right. So there was a church that I was going to. Right. It was a church that I was going to, and they knew that I had these qualifications. So they asked me if I wanted to apply. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. My son is in school now. I could do this for a little bit. And what ended up happening was when the lady interviewed me, right? I didn't think of in terms of like what my knowledge was worth. I just was thinking like, oh, it's the church. I come in, I work for them, part-time or whatever, while my son is at school. So I didn't really negotiate because I figured I'm the first employee. They know that I'm more than qualified. Of course they try to beat me in my head. You know what I'm saying? Right? Then they go and they hire somebody with half the qualifications, and she was probably making more than me, which is one of the reasons why I left that job. Because you took for granted thinking, well, she's a member of the church, and she's such a nice person, and she loves the kids, and she'll do it to help us. And she's painting the murals too, because I can paint, right? I painted the murals for the church and things, right? You see what I'm saying? Instead of being like, well, she'll be the head teacher, we'll pay her the real salary. You get it? Two of Wands. So there's something that you're not aware of. And it feels like they think that you'll be happy with less. Whatever this is, job, whatever, relationship, whatever. Okay? So you have here the Two of Wands comes out with the Seven of Sticks and the Five of Baskets. If you do not advocate for yourself here with this Seven of Wands, okay, and make a decision that you know, whatever your standards are, and adhere to the standards of what is speaking in you, okay, because if not, you're going to get left out in the cold because nobody's looking out for you but you. Okay, the devil is here. Okay, so people are going to try to get over if they can. Six of Swords, okay, Three of Baskets, and then you might not recognize until, you know, something is revealed to you and you might have made a decision. Okay, cardinal signs. So don't move so fast. I heard, don't stand so close to me. All right, so this is also you about having boundaries and not being overly nice, or, you know, and so what? You're a cardinal, you're a leader, you like to lead the way. Just because they're offering you something doesn't mean you have to take it. Spirit's telling you to advocate for yourself in some way. Okay, Queen of Cups, Spirit, why is that here? Too many, Spirit. Queen of Cups, why is that here? With the Seven of Knives. Okay, so this could be a mother figure, okay, or there could be another feminine involved in this situation, or there's somebody in there emotional, or this could have something to do with the feminine energy within you, or the mother role, right, with the Chariot. For some of you's cardinal signs, there could be something about tradition or family ties or the lineage, and how you're living in or stepping into like a soul path of yours, but maybe you're going to do it different. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you're somebody like me, that you're like, you know what, in our family, seniors don't go to nursing facilities unless it's really fucking bad. Right? So, but I don't want to live in the same house, for instance. Right? So I'm gonna move next door or a block away or something, but I have to move to a whole new state, right? But that difference could make all the difference of this. Like, you could be saying, like, I don't get along with this person. It still feels like something I must do in my heart of hearts, that I have to go towards this, and the big mama's here, and the ancestors with the death card, right? I'm telling you, there's something here. It's like a new thing that you're going to go to, but you need to examine it first, because not all the information could be out there, and you need to be making it on the right terms and the right understanding of what is at stake, so that you don't have to do things twice or double back or something, right? So let's say you're moving across the country, you got $8,000. That may sound like a lot of bread, but once you start moving your shit, and that shit's gonna go fast. Plus, you need an apartment, you need the down payment, whatever, right? So you can only do it once. You fuck up, you fucked up. Now the money's gone. Now you're stuck. Right? So there's something here where you have to spend some time thinking, right, on how to do the thing that you are already feeling coming up that needs to be addressed. Okay, so take a moment. Don't just cardinal signs, don't just jump out the window. Okay, Ten of Pentacles, why is this here? Ten of Pentacles comes out with the Six of Knives in reverse. Okay, because not all money is good money. Maybe not peaceful or not calm, right? There's something you have to weigh here. Yeah, I'm making more money, but it's not peaceful money, or it doesn't bring me peace. There's some adjustment here. Seven of Baskets, right? And I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. This doesn't look like you're seeing clearly just yet. There's some things that you don't know. This is the Two of Swords over here, and the Seven of Cups. There's some kind of thing that is not clear to you. Okay, cardinal signs. Okay, so Spirit's telling you to slow down and observe something. Make sure you have all the information. Okay, you got the Queen of Pentacles here. Know your worth. Back to an offer that could be less than, because they figure you just be happy with it, whatever sector of life that may be a reflection of. Okay, with the Daughter of Coins, okay, you don't have to rush. It took you a long time to learn to know your worth. Okay, so make a solid judgment, because I feel like you can't just turn around right away. Two of Pentacles. Okay, decision time. Okay, Hermit, take a moment. Take a fucking moment. Before you take that action, which you are at a crossroads right now. Okay, there are some conflicts. There could be voices, okay, from different people in your life, and their opinions on your situation, but only you can decide. This is your wheel of fortune. Okay, and only you, the emperor of your life. Okay, so you need to think about what it is that will suit you best. Cardinal signs, it's time to decide. Okay, also, don't be afraid to try new things, okay? Because you might end up, out of fear of wanting to play it safe or whatever, miss out on some kind of opportunity, okay? Examine the choices and the reasons why you're making them. All right, guys, that's what I have for you guys. I am going to take 3 questions from each side, and then I'm really going to go because I got a bunch of shit to do. So if you want a question answered, make sure that you're a follower, and make sure that you type it quickly, because I'm really out of here soon. You're welcome, guys. Yes, you must be a follower for a yes or no question. Okay, I'll do 3 on each side. Type them in quickly. Is the Beatles in my truck ancestors? So it's saying 3 of baskets, an event is 3 women. Energy is being represented there. 8 of baskets, as you travel. 10 of coins, family, generational wealth, and legacy. They are protecting you. They say you're a little hard-headed, though. Okay, here's the family, the ancestors behind you, okay? What does Mississippi have to do with your line? I don't know, but I heard Mississippi. 4 of coins. Okay. There also could be like some land. They want you to back to that land, okay? Keep saving money. They want you to get some land, okay? But, and I'm going to say this quickly because I don't have a lot of time, but they're saying there's a feminine that needs to be there's something off. Okay. That's what I'm going to leave that there, Pata. Vicky, will my daughter and I reunite? I don't know if she's been with her father or if there's a male involved. But I feel like yes, it may not be the warm and fuzzy thing that you want. This feels like a family event. Okay. And it could be the holidays, but it also could be a funeral. 8 of Wands and the 4 of Knives and the 4 of Coins. It's going to be a little cool at first. Okay. I feel like she's not sure how the interaction is going to go, or if she wants to interact. Don't push, don't lean in too much. Keep it light, keep it, and I feel like you will have a better chance. Okay. Don't be overwhelming, overbearing. You're going to get locked out again. Okay. Okay. Is my son going to be good in Chicago at Christmas? You are next, Alicia. Yes, but if this is a stepmom situation, you might be irritated by certain questions. At the end of the time, Spirit said, let it go. All you're seeing is a window that this person isn't as secure as you thought they were. And don't give it mind. Okay. Alicia. To hold on to this. Yes. You're supposed to keep it so that you can never be in a toxic situation and be left out in the cold, especially with the Mother of Coins here. It's going to make you money. You're to rent it. And it's going to teach your girls how to be a fucking boss. And then one of them later might need it anyway. Ancestors. Keep it in the family. That's what I have for you. Okay, am I still moving in the direction of my healing? You're welcome. Yes, but you need to start working on your anxiety because you keep going in circles with that part. Okay. And then the next time something happens, you just get thrown off again. Okay. So this is about starting to learn how to regulate yourself. What's good, Susan? What's good, Tawanda? Starting to recognize how to regulate yourself is the problem, right? 2 more questions and that is it. I am up out of here. Anybody else? Very quickly. So true. Yeah, you need to get your anxiety under control because it's unraveling you. So then every time you do like movement forward and then something happens, you get thrown off again. Okay, Susan. Well, that's you. Find her love. Betsy may need to heal something so she can accept love. That's what Spirit said. Okay. Am I going to in the right direction? Yes, very true. Three of Nines, ancestor, and the Seven of Baskets. Yes, you are main. You're releasing heartbreak without a map right now. And your ancestors are leading you to that. So they're getting you comfortable in your own skin. You first have to accept yourself. Like you couldn't get love or feel love from other people. They weren't offering the real fucking thing anyway. Right? But for somebody else to see you through true eyes, real eyes, you have to see it first, babe. And so they want you to feel different about the skin you're in and the acceptance and about conversation that we had about your mom and letting that fully matriculate into you so that the next time you won't be filling that wound with outside experiences. Does that make sense? Because that is the bigger thing. Okay. So that's what I have. All right, guys. I got to get the fuck up out of here because my grandkids will be back in a little bit and I need to cook for them. So I'm wishing you all light and love for my Patreoners. Tomorrow, you're probably going to see me sometime during the day. Wednesday, you will not because I'm going to Disney World with the babies. So we're going to work it out. I miss you guys and I'll see you later. Bye. Bye, guys.